welcome back to What She Says Sports, everybody. Okay, this Shanola girl, check it in. All right, so it's a lot happening today, and I'm hoping in under 60 seconds, 60 minutes, we can get this out. Um, so let's huddle, let's talk, and I just want to say, uh, there's some breaking news I want to share, some possibilities here, and there's some interesting news, a conversation that needs to be had, and there's some fun stuff, right? So we're gonna save the fun stuff for last, because we got some stuff in the middle of here we want to talk about. All right, but first and foremost, people are asking if since now that Tyreek Hill is available, apparently the last year of his $90 million contract, which ended up being $100 million, his guarantees are to kick in a few days, and the Miami Dolphins decided, nah, don't worry about it. So rather than trigger those guaranteed monies of about $16 million, a roster bonus, and his salary, I think his salary is 11, roster bonus is 5. They're like, nah, don't worry about it. So it looks like maybe Tyreek Hill, he's now a free agent, but maybe he gets to go to another team for 11 million. And people are asking, should Tyreek Hill go to the Cleveland Browns? Now, let me say this. The way that we have watched Andrew Berry acquire talent says that somebody like a Tyreek Hill would be a target of theirs. What do I mean by that? Like, Tyreek Hill, I don't know. I want to say he's at the end of his career. I don't think you can say that. He is coming off an injury with that dislocated knee. And it's only $11 million in terms of, their cap space. Now, they're already 11 million over the cap space of 15, but they have to get somebody. They actually have to get somebody. And rather than just get somebody who isn't proven, you could get Tyreek Hill on a 1-year contract for $11 million. But the Browns don't seemingly do things like that. But what do you think about the possibility? Do you think it would be good to match up Shador with Tyreek Hill? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Shador Sanders, Tyreek Hill, Browns next season. Tyreek is free. That's the breaking news. Just in case you haven't heard it, Tyreek Hill is now available. He's now a free agent. I don't know where else he could go. I haven't really thought about it. But I do want to know what y'all think about the possibility. And it seems feasible to me. But they don't normally spend that kind of money. I mean, think about how they over-invested in Jerry Jeudy. That's what's kind of locking up kind of anybody good coming to the Browns. So they kind of trapped themselves, probably intentionally, until next year, because I think Jerry Jeudy's contract is up. But let me know what you think about Tyreek Hill, wide receiver, pairing up with Shador Sanders, elite QB1. Let me know your thoughts. All right, so let's get on to the NBA. Let's move on to the NBA. All right. First and foremost, in the NBA, I thought this was a good idea. They're talking about the 3-point contest. Dame Lillard sent out a DM, and he said, next year, me, you, Clay, Devin Booker, and 4 more people, just real shooters, pure shooters in a 3-point contest. I like the idea. I think it will be fun for people to see. Let me know what you think about that. Dame, I remember Dame playing against the Rockets one time, and it was just lights out, and he still lights out. Here's the thing: shoot or shoot. Once you can shoot, you can always shoot. That's really how it goes, right? And I know people, talk about Chris Paul kind of losing his shooting skills a little bit, but he wasn't a shooter. That he was a point guard. He was more of a floor general. So, and I know that Westbrook his shooting abilities kind of waned too. Now, I don't know if he primarily started off like a Dame Lillard, but Dame, Steph Curry, they're not going to lose those talents. They're not going to lose those talents unless they maybe hit their 90s or something like that and they lose their balance in life. But shooters shoot. And shooters can generally always shoot. All right, so let me know what y'all think about the 3-point contest featuring just the pure shooters next year. Clay, Book, Dame, I think Curry. Let me know. All right, so moving right along. This is good. This turning out good. All right, now we got to talk about LeBron James. All right. Now, this is where it can get a little sticky. This is where it's going to get a little sticky. All right, so LeBron James is facing backlash. And it's over Israel. And he was at the WNBA, I mean the NBA All-Star game. I showed the photo with him, LeBron sitting next to is it the legend? What is his name? I can't think of his name. Anyway, LeBron went over and spoke. Obama was sitting there. The picture looks different now. You choose my words carefully here. He's facing backlash because he's pro-Israel comments, praising Israel right now. He said, I've never heard a bad thing about Israel. It's a nice place. I got to go there. I've never heard anything bad about it. Now, it's sticky for a number of reasons, right? And it had me asking the question, is LeBron tone deaf? Tone deaf means you out of touch with reality. You don't really know what the hell going on. You can't read the room. You obtuse. Annoyingly slow with understanding what the hell is really happening around you. And I asked the question, is he tone deaf or is he compromised? It's a legitimate question. It's a real question. I just read that one of the guys that came out with the NBA gambling scandal, I think the one that might have been betting online, he got a 2-year sentence. Now, that scandal was a couple months ago. And we saw Chauncey Billups being taken out of his house at about 5 a.m. by the feds. And he was wearing this sweatshirt that you see on my screen that says Clutch Sports Group. I knew exactly what that meant. Now, if you know anything about some of these people, they gamble, right? And apparently it's illegal. Now, I remember there was a TV show, Survivor's Remorse, I think LeBron had produced. And that show kind of foreshadowed a little bit of how people spend their free time. And people talked about how scared LeBron looked when Chauncey got arrested. And I think I remember, I didn't have time to look it up, that the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, or somehow the Portland Trailblazers, was in this e-file situation. See, all of this is coming together. And this is what I mean by this shit ain't going nowhere. And it's hella people compromising. We already saw one group of people. But now, with the gambling scandal, now you got to go back to it and wonder if that was a part of this. If they were trying to compromise somebody. And did they compromise somebody? Because people talked about the real target of that gambling scandal was not Chauncey Billups, which is why Chauncey Billups came out of his house with Clutch Sports Groups on the side of his face, like, you see what it is. If I go, we all going. And y'all know there was one person who seemingly kind of skated by that situation. Well, now that person is either proving themselves to be tone deaf or proving themselves to be compromised. And I'm going to go with the latter. The latter. Because there are 3.5 million documents out there, all tying back that way, right? Epstein, the Maxwell lady, her dad, all of it. Everybody knows that all of these people are compromised. And everybody's talking about this over the last 28, 48, 72 hours, a whole week now. Everybody's been talking about how all of these people, these billionaires, were compromised for the benefit of who? And this is who he's praising. It don't look good. And it seems like at a time when all of them are in trouble, hey, LeBron, we need you. We need you to come out here and speak positively. Why it gotta be me? Because you black. Today they was trashing Rihanna, talking about her baby weight. I'm like, I never hear y'all trash Rihanna. Then there's this video with Michael Jordan after NASCAR. He's a black billionaire. Rihanna is. LeBron is. They got Oprah on the photos in there. She is. And Jay-Z, he's a black billionaire. So it's like they just going down the list. Pluk, 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 pluk. Beyonce, pluk, 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 pluk. Right? That's what it's giving. So now you got to go back. You got to go back a little bit. People pointed out, the gambling scandal came and went. We hear no more. Chauncey taken out of his house, went to Clutch Sports Group. People knew that was pointing directly at the king. And now the king is praising those that are being exposed as the compromisers. So what I see happening is it confirms that he was the goddamn target. That's why Chauncey Billups wore the sweater. And since he was the target, it seemed like maybe, possibly, did they get it? It seemed like so. It just seemed like so. A couple of weeks ago, or probably a week ago, he was receiving backlash because one of his shoes that he has with Nike, that they put the Lorraine Motel on there, which is a site where Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated, and people accused him and Nike of commercializing Dr. King's death. I didn't really hear about that. I had to read about that. And I don't know how y'all feel about that. Of course, you're going to have to let me know. And it just kind of seems to me that with Obama sitting there on the sidelines and, he talking to, I can't forget the man he was talking to, but y'all know he's a legend, the tall, skinny man. I don't know, guys. And I remember the look on his wife's face after that scandal happened, because she was not happy. I think I had posted a photo. I was like, this woman is not happy. And I saw her for Valentine's Day, and she didn't look too thrilled. Here's the thing, right? They were going around compromising all these billionaires. Then this gambling scandal hits and rocks the NBA, and it just kind of fizzes out. We even talked about the guy that had the show. Remember, he had the show on the podcast. What was it called? It has something to do with Gilbert Arenas. Remember Arenas? And then he got arrested. And then when he came back, his show was gone. And somehow the NFL people end up with it. I think the name of it is Gridiron now. They didn't change the whole damn name of the show. I don't think he owned it no more. It just went in while you was in there. Things was happening out here and your shit gone. That's just what it is. Now it's LeBron's turn. We see how high up that go. And just like it was a couple of weeks after Gilbert had to be arrested for that. And he said he didn't have nothing to do with that. People was just using his house, right? After a couple of weeks after that, we hear about the whole NBA scandal, and everybody go, there was something bigger going on that we didn't know about. Well, that's kind of like what's happening here with the whole praise for a place you never been to, and you say you never heard nothing negative about them when they are in the news damn near nonstop these days for multiple reasons. It's given compromise. It's given that's what the gambling scandal was about. Because one thing you learn from the E-Files is that all of these people were compromised. What did Cat Williams say? You could say no. At a certain point, you could say no. Hey, you want to come gamble my house? No. Hey, you want to come party? There's no DJ. Luke Campbell, Uncle Luke, said he was invited to a party at a place in Florida. And it wasn't no DJ. It was just room after room after room. It was just people that looked very young. And he said he thought he was going to get extorted, so he left. And people said, if 90s Uncle Luke felt uncomfortable at a party, you know it was bad. It confirms what Cat Williams said. You could say no. Up to a certain point. So seemingly, LeBron's he's up to that certain point, and there is no way you make that statement without a pew-pew pointed at your bank or your bank account or your legacy or your reputation. But when they keep using you for leverage like this, they're actually using you to tarnish your own reputation. Look at Oprah. People are like, oh, they don't like her no more, saying she was a part of it. But the situation with Michael Jordan, people didn't know if it was AI or real. Then they don't know what they're looking at. Then they think they know what they're looking at. And I'm like, Michael Jordan just took down the NASCAR, right? Also a billionaire. Also probably had some business dealings, but probably said no somewhere in the past. And who knows what that's going to turn out to be. But the pattern is there. Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Y'all know about Diddy. Now you come into the basketball world, the sports world. You got LeBron. You got the NFL. And you got Michael Jordan. Black people don't own any NFL teams, but if they did, they'd be on that list. So y'all let me know. Do you think LeBron is tone deaf? By tone deaf, think about being insensitive or out of touch or failing to grasp the mood, the context, or emotional impact of a situation or something you said. Now, remember, LeBron is kind of labeled an activist, a bit, a social activist. And I remember when he went to, NBA went to China and he said something and people said that was terrible for him to say. And he got backlash from it, but I don't know where it came from. This is just a little different. Because of there's so much going on and it's so well known, right? I don't think a lot of people on this side of the ocean were kind of clued in as to what was happening in China, that he shouldn't have said what he said. I think he was called out by a basketball executive from the Rockets, right? And I don't know what happened to that person. And there was a time you couldn't discuss LeBron and then face some kind of, backlash. But this is a little different now because you have so many people standing against the e-files, which all suggests, according to what the narrative that they put out, that it was about compromising people and getting leverage. Did they get LeBron? Or is he tone deaf? Compromise or tone deaf? I think you have to go back to this. And this suggests that he's compromised. He's not tone deaf. There's just no way. Let me know your thoughts. Like, seriously, let me know your thoughts, because we're talking to this man's legacy, his talents, his gifts. And lately it's just hit after hit. Maybe a lot of people knew about the shoe. Maybe a lot of people didn't, but a lot of people know about this. And I think sometimes when in this situation where they used him to do this, possibly, potentially, some people think it's to sway people that look like LeBron. I'm just going to put this out here for people that don't understand. We like LeBron for his gifts, his talents. I think he's a good father. In fact, somebody totally disrespected him to elevate themselves the other day. And I said, that's disgusting, because you never have to put down a man because you want to elevate yourself and make you better. And that's still true. And even with this, I don't take nothing away from him being a good father. I can't take nothing away from him being a good basketball player. But I can kind of take a step back until you see further which direction he's going. Because there are people that believe that because we like him and we look like him, he can sway us to believe what he believes. Now, I don't know in what world that works, but it don't work in mine. And I don't think it works in a lot of ours. I think we can compartmentalize and separate our appreciation of the gifts and talents that he has and the ability to perform on the court. But when he starts speaking certain things, it's like, yeah, I'm not with that. Yeah, I'm not with that. If you feel comfortable, that's cool. That's on you. But I'm going to have to take a step back. And that's the beginning of tarnishing his legacy, because I'm not the only person that's going to look back and go, is this what happened? I mean, compromise is being used on everybody else. Those are billionaires, right? That are billionaires. And we know coming out the house with Clutch Sports Groups ain't pointing to Jim. We know who is pointing at. So to me, that's what this says. That this was done conveniently before, because all of this was playing. All of this was playing on when it would come out. And since it's out, let me get you that I just got a couple of weeks ago and get you to say something positive and praise us. That does two things. It tries to take the culture and get him to tell the culture what to believe. What you worried about what the hell we think for anyway? I mean, let's just be honest here. But at the same time, don't get confused. We can go, we know right from wrong. And when we start seeing people that we appreciate their talents and gifts on the field, we tend to move away from them. I I don't know why anybody think we would go along with what LeBron is saying because he can shoot a basketball. We think it's awesome that he can do what seemingly no others can, especially at such a young age. But we know right from wrong. And we're not going with that. But I think the bigger issue is understanding and asking, is he tone deaf, out of touch, or is he compromised? Because if he's compromised, that's huge. And since one of the first people that already, experienced consequences for the gambling scandal is something that you have to be real about, and you have to level set your expectations at that point. You can't duck and dodge everything, not when these people using you. And if you tone deaf, you need to go sit down and educate yourself quickly, because you are tarnishing your legacy, whether it's with the Nike shoe and the hotel on there from MLK, which was just about a week and a half ago. Now you got this situation. A missed 3.5 million documents pointing directly in one direction. And you seemingly either don't know, which means you're ignorant, or you've been forced to praise that direction. And no, not this time. That's the one thing about it, right? People can talk about whatever they want to talk about, but there are certain issues the public and these sports leagues, actually, I'm pretty sure they know this by now. They can have their media say whatever the hell it is they want to say. Think about the whole Shador situation, how they tried to trash him and use their media to convince us. Did it work? No, this is no different. You're not going to convince us of nothing. But it does appear that he might be at the point where he's tarnishing his own legacy, and he don't have a choice because he's past the point of saying no. That's what it is. So let me know your thoughts. Is LeBron tone deaf, or is LeBron possibly compromised and we just don't know about it? We just starting to kind of get a whiff of it. It's one of those things if you don't know, you're going to have to if you haven't seen enough, you're going to kind of have to hang back and see if there's something there. All right, so that's that. Now let's get to the fun stuff, because I told you it's going to get a little heavy in the middle. So let's get to the fun stuff. So, all right. So we have Karrueche and Coach Prime. And I watched the clip earlier and I want to share it because it's funny. I said, is Karrueche trying to upgrade Coach Prime? It's like, let me upgrade you. So here's the context, and then we'll look at the clip. So apparently they were at a spa, and she tried to get Coach Prime to not get a massage, but to undress to get the massage. And it's funny how he responded. So my question is, after the clip, I have a question for you, but I'm gonna ask it right now, but I want you to answer it. Were you ever this way? If you were a person that you were kind of squeamish when it came to massages because you didn't want strangers touching on you, or you didn't want to disrobe for that, like Coach Prime, did you ever experience that? So I'll go first. Yes. I was like Coach Prime. I was like, nah. So check this out. This is hilarious. And it just shows you that Karrueche got Coach Prime trying new things, but he ain't giving up on everything. He not getting ready to try everything. He got his principles, which is hilarious. Couples getting
this man take your shoes off.
They're no good.
Like, you have your
I don't know these people.
Outfit on.
I ain't know these people. I ain't get naked for somebody I don't know.
Take this off.
Skin.
This man
she said, I take this off.
This man take your shoes off.
They're no good.
Like, you have your
I don't know these people.
So this supposed to get a massage.
I don't know these people. I ain't get naked for somebody I don't know.
Take this off.
Skin.
This man take your shoes off.
They're no good.
Like, you have your
I don't know these people.
Outfit on.
I ain't know these people. I ain't getting.
Coach Prime say he not going to be no different than he been. But you know what? I was the same way. I was like, it took me forever to kind of get into the massage, right? It took me forever to kind of get into that because I was the same way. I was like, So what y'all think? Karrueche tried to upgrade Coach Prime, and Coach Prime standing on his principles. He like, no. So here's my question. Did he ever do it? Did he ever do it? Or did he have a massage fully clothed? Because that's crazy, right? I'm like, because, here's the thing. I just didn't do it at all. It took me a while to get into it. And it was funny. After I became comfortable with it, right? I was particular about who the masseuse was, right? And there's a certain level of disrobing, and I never was full disrobing. Like I didn't see no point to that because we're not going there. So no, no, but shoulders, top, sure, right? Because face down. So that wasn't a big deal, and we still ain't going over there. We doing the, I like the hot stone massage. I did like that. So my question is, were y'all ever like Coach Prime? I said yes, I was. 2, did you ever get to the point where you began to enjoy the massage process like I did? I'm like, okay, but do y'all think Coach Prime ever took his, decided to disrobe, or did he have a full body massage in full clothing, including a robe? Let me know your thoughts, because that's hilarious. And I feel a Coach Prime or Deion Sanders and Rucci show coming on. It might be a segment on Bucky's show, but I see it happening because they just went out on a date. It's like they double dated with Coach Prime, Karrueche. He keeps calling her his girlfriend, Deion Sanders Jr., and him. And guess what? Coach Prime bodyguard was there. And I saw like a wedding ring on his finger. I'm like, well, he should have brought his wife, right? But I guess he was working. So, Coach Prime has, I guess, round-the-clock security. So they went on a double date. Go check it out. It's on Well Off Media. They took a train ride. So, yeah, Coach Prime is seemingly doing things differently, right? Because he got this love in his life, and, she's into different things, and she's getting him to loosen up, try things. We heard Shiloh talk about the whole tree. He never did that kind of thing. And, he said Karrueche seems to be the difference for that. And now we see, she's trying to get him to try the spot thing. I saw him on the trip with the train ride, which was really nice and relaxing and kind of fun because he double dated with his son. So that was kind of nice. And go check it out. But let me know what y'all think. Let me hit these comments up. I said we got 60 minutes. So let's see how much time. We got 4 minutes left. How many? 32 minutes left. 32 minutes left. So let me see what y'all saying. Hey, Isaiah, how you doing? It said Oscar Robertson, the big O. It said, no, that was, I can't remember this man's name, but I know who it is. Name 2 legendary Black basketball players that's not Wilt Chamberlain. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know it. Name 2 legendary Black basketball NBA players, and one of them is not Wilt Chamberlain. Just name the other one, and I bet that's who it is. That's who it is. It said, didn't know you were coming. I'm glad I caught the live. Oh, thank you, Isaiah. Yeah, it was just pop up. It's the off season, so we're just gonna be popping up. Thank you. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? How you doing? It said, I would love to link up and add the Tyson kid. Weapons for Shador. Ooh, okay. Oh, the kid that's in the draft? Okay. Yeah, I heard them talking about drafting O-linemen instead of drafting 2 wide receivers. I'm like, so you got to get 2 O-linemen. You can't use your first round draft pick for an O-lineman and a wide receiver. But yeah, that's the Browns, right? It says Nino Brown said, if I'm going down, they all going with me. I know that's right, because that's what it's given. When I first saw this, I said, there's a message here. If you never watched the TV show Survivor's Remorse, season 1 or 2 or possibly 3, I think it's season 1. Go watch it. LeBron pops up in it. I think it was co-created by LeBron and Maverick Carter, I think. Go check it out. So it was good. It was actually really good. And Mike Epps was in there. He played the uncle. It said the NBA is full of it. It said I don't watch it as much. I didn't watch the All-Star game. I watched the highlights. Oh, okay. I watched the highlights too. The highlights of the All-Star game is actually really good. A lot of people today, after LeBron's press conference, a lot of people are now saying that they rock with Kyrie, that they kind of understand Kyrie a little more. They are praising Kyrie for his firm stance on what's right and what, not being corrupted or whatever. In fact, I don't know if y'all know, but Kyrie was asked to be interviewed by ESPN. And, the people will come up to you and kind of steer you in a particular direction. And you could see him pull back, and they must have told him, he must have asked, who's this interview for? And they said ESPN, and he said, I don't mess with them, and walked off. And people said they praised Kyrie. So now, people going in on LeBron. I mean, he's still a good father. You can't trash him for that. That's a separate issue, right? So people are aligning more with Kyrie. It's funny how it takes a situation to make people see. What did I say the other day? Who remembers hearing me say, now you're getting ready to see what side people are on? What side people are on? This is what I mean. People are now putting LeBron on this side. It's not a left or right. It's just a different side. Putting LeBron on one side and Kyrie on the other and feeling like they more aligned with Kyrie. And this is what I mean by, I believe this could be the beginning of LeBron tarnishing his legacy, because it does appear that he's at the point where he doesn't have an option to say no. At one point, he had an option to say no. When that gambling scandal broke, we pointed something out. We were like, so all the people in the NBA that gamble ain't none of them white. They all black. People said it. And when you pay attention to how different things are happening to all these black billionaires, how Jay-Z got thrown under the bus in the NFL. They didn't talk about none of the owners and Peyton Manning that are in the Epstein files. Casey Wasserman, they didn't even talk about that. They said Casey Wasserman is selling his talent agency. I said, he listed as an NFL agent. What kind of talent is that? Why you just didn't say his representation agency, or do he have some other kind of agency? But did he step down from the Olympics? No. So you see, I'm willing to give you this, but so I don't ensnare other people, but I'm not giving up everything. That's what this is about, right? This is about consequences, and people want to determine how they will be dealt with. And certain people clearly don't have the ability to say no. And we haven't heard anything else about Chauncey Billups. But when he came out this house with this sweatshirt on, you best believe this was a message. And now you have to go back to this. And you have to say, is that what that gambling scandal was about? Because look at how weird it kind of was. It kind of came and they threw certain people under the bus, black people, because I ain't see nobody else, and it just went away. And Chauncey, from what I can recall, at the time was the biggest fish. Yeah. And I thought I read somewhere in the e-files something about the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, who, if I'm not mistaken, Chauncey Billups was the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. So you see the connections, the dots are starting to come together. So you got maybe the e-files, maybe the Portland Trailblazers, Chauncey Billups, you got LeBron, you got Clutch Sports, all of it. But they're not talking about the other people. They put Chauncey on Front Street, and they seemingly are puppeteering LeBron. Yep. Let's see if they puppeteer Jay-Z. He was bold enough to show up to the Super Bowl with his daughters. See what happens. Because the NFL threw him straight under the bus. So why he would even show up over there, I don't know. Let me know how you feel about that. So the All-Star game was different and good this year. I love the new format. That's all I've been hearing, is that people like the new format. And when they get to the Olympics, that they think that's going to be the format. Hey, sis, can we talk about Cam Scatterboo calling 12 a broke fifth rounder at the Pro Bowl? Why? I mean, I don't give credence to everything. I don't really, I mean, honestly, what's the value in that? It's not educating anybody. I mean, so probably not. Probably not. Probably not. It's not educating anybody. It's not informing us of anything we need to know. We actually need to know if LeBron is tone deaf or compromised. We really need to know that, right? We got kids out here, buying this jersey, buying this merch. We're like, oh, time out. What's really going on? What's really going on? We don't want to get, and while you can't tell people what to think, we don't want to lend support to people who are being puppeteered or willfully ignorant. Pick one. Tone deaf, because you can fix that, or puppeteer. Uncle Luke running for office, I think, in Congress. What? I didn't think that, but Okay. I'm like, all I know is people pointed out if Uncle Luke is uncomfortable at a party, you know it's bad. And he said it. There wasn't even no DJ. I was like, oh, it's not a party if it don't have a DJ. So look at how they invited him. And he said, I thought I was gonna get extorted, so I left. So he felt like he picked up on the scam, that the situation was set up for people to be brought into and compromised. And he said he felt it and he left because there wasn't no DJ. And it was just room after room, he said. And apparently there's a lot of secret passageways happening that go underground. And from what I'm hearing about different places. Can't fall for the parlor tricks and traps. Players have to be smarter. Yeah. That's facts. You talking about the craft treatment? What's that? They say LeBron is at the end of his career, and when you get to the end, they move on. It's just what they do. When you compromise with these folks, it comes at a price. Yeah, it does. And I don't think it has nothing to do with the end of his career. I think here's the thing. This might be the reason why his career comes to an end sooner than he planned. See, that's different. See, here's the thing. Here's the message, right? You might be a billionaire, but we still own you. That's the message. Now, as far as we know, LeBron has moved freely all over his life, however he wanted to. He even got a lady kicked out of a basketball game recently. And I don't know who that was, but it would surprise me if there was some connection there. But he has been able to move freely and have the protection. And people say he's the GM. The GM is what they call him. Let's see if that continues. People said he should get an all-star game because he didn't produce like he should have been an all-star. Let's see what happens, because normally when you end up in these situations, you have to drop out the spotlight, which is why I felt, even though the NFL distances itself from Jay-Z, he still decided to show up with his daughters to basically, like, y'all not gonna make me be no different, but at the same time, we'll see just how long the puppet strings are, just how compromised they are. Or you'll learn if they were just being tone deaf for their own benefit or willfully ignorant. The truth will come out, and the answer matters, because neither is good. Being tone deaf, willfully ignorant, or compromised, none of them are good. None of them good, because the people that support you letting those people, not just letting those people down, you could be misleading them. That's what we're talking about. The craft treatment, right? I think I heard somebody say his name twice. It said he fully dressed with the robe on. Facts. That's what you're talking about. What? Talking about the craft treatment. Talking about Coach Prime with this robe on. Yeah. Let me know if y'all ever been like not interested in massages because, like Coach Prime, you didn't want to disrobe. And he on the table with the robe on and the shoes. And he didn't want to take the shoes off. I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, you're supposed to take your shoes off and stuff. But again, there's levels to that. So it's Karrueche is finding out where the limits are. She's finding out because from what I can see about Coach Prime, he gonna do whatever. You know, people say he a Leo. I'm like, oh, okay, he's a male Leo, so he gonna do what he's up here to do, and he's not gonna change his mind. And Karrueche is seeing in their relationships where the limits are. So she can get him to do this, and she can get him to do that, but he like, hey, time out. So I thought that was cute. And I'm glad y'all were able to jump in for that. Go check out the entire video that Bucky put together with them on their Valentine's Day on the train. That was cute. I feel like I may have heard her say she wanted to do that. She arranged that or something like that, or she wanted to go. So she gets them to do certain things. Maybe put up the Christmas tree, buying a bunch of gifts. I knew what Shiloh's gift was. Y'all remember when Shiloh was talking about the gift he got from Karrueche, and he thanked her, and then Coach Prime was telling him, I got something for you. I already knew what it was. Straight up wire transfer. I already knew. So as much as they talk about their dad, he still blesses them, right? So he still blesses them. But he talking about Snow must be stopped. I'm like, yeah, because Snow is living his best life. Snow living his best life. He living better than all of us right now. All these trips and vacations. Snow the celebrity. That's what I call him, because that's what he is. And they say his middle name is Sanders. Snow Sanders, and his last name I think is Broadnex. So I just call her Snow Sanders. Snow the celebrity Sanders, but I guess I gotta add all the other part. It don't really work for the hashtag. So I'm gonna call him Snow the celebrity because he is a celebrity. Talking about Snow must be stopped. It said LeBron thinking about running for president now, only because Stephen A. Smith said he was thinking about running. I don't think LeBron is running for president. Who said that? Okay, maybe it is, but I don't see that happening. I don't see Stephen A. happening because I don't think he compromised. I just think he is tone deaf. Yeah. He wants to be liked. That's Stephen A.'s problem. And LeBron, if they do put him up to run, notice I said if they do, he's already compromised. So that wouldn't be good either. See, the goal is to find somebody who's not compromised. It's getting a little tough. It's getting a little toned up or a little tough. And you know, people using symbols from some of this stuff, you got to be careful, right? Some people you got to give them the benefit of the doubt and think that they just a little tone deaf or uninformed. But some people know exactly what they're doing and are doing exactly as they have been told. It's just the fact that I hate when they use people like LeBron to think they can persuade all Black people. I don't really care for that. Unless they feel like they can persuade the basketball world. But if you read comments, that's obviously not the case, right? It's too many. You think Shador gets hate? Oh Lord, LeBron gets severe hate. Isn't Skip Bayless one of LeBron's haters? Right? Doesn't he hate LeBron? Like, and I don't know why. Loves Shador, but hate LeBron. I don't know why he hate LeBron, but I think he does. I think Skip is so understand that they're not doing it to the basketball world. They using people like that. They compromising people like that to try to persuade certain people on what to think. I'm like, does that really work like that for a lot of people? Because they don't. You can't tell me what to think. Once I learned right from wrong, that was it. That was it. But I guess it worked like that for some people. So that's what they think. Dr. J, there you go. That's who it is, Selmo. Welcome back. So Dr. J, that's who was in the photo. It was Dr. J. So I'm looking at the photo, trying to look at it closely to see if I can pick up on something, because it was kind of weird, right? It was kind of weird when I saw it the first time, but I figured I didn't have the full context of what it was that I was looking at. So I'm just getting y'all through y'all last hour. If y'all traveling, if y'all putting in work, this is it right here. I'm just getting y'all through. Let's see. This is it right here. So yes, that's Dr. J. That's his name, right? Dr. J. So yes, Thelma is correct. I said y'all was gonna know who it was. So see this photo right here. I'm looking at this photo. I zoomed in. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me look at this again because it might not look like what I think. So you got Michelle Obama. Then you have Obama, President Obama. Then his legs turn this way. Body language is here. You got Dr. J. That's Dr. J, right? That is Dr. J, right? Dr. J. You got LeBron. It seems like he was holding Dr. J's hand, but I was thinking maybe was he possibly holding Obama's hand? But I don't maybe not, right? I was just, so if he was holding Obama's hand, to go and say that afterwards, it's just kind of weird. Now Anthony Edwards, he let it be known. He said, that's my dude, talking about Obama. We was hanging out before. He said, oh yeah, I love Obama. He's not ashamed to say how he really feels, right? So, you know, I don't know in retrospect, looking at this, I think that's Obama's hand right down there. So that means he was holding Dr. J's hand, but looking down and not looking at Obama, because I was trying to figure that out. And Obama looking directly at him. So I don't know. Maybe he's shamed. Maybe he's shamed. Shit, I don't know. I know one thing, LeBron, you better get this shit together, bro. Because you buy your way out of do what you got to do, because it ain't going to be good for you. Oh, that's Oscar Robertson. See, I said it was, that's what I was asking. Okay. So they say it's not Dr. J. They say it's not Dr. J. That's fine. I said, I never told you I knew it was. I just thought that's who it was. But yeah, that's fine. So that's Oscar Robertson. Okay, yeah, I don't know him. So I thought that was Dr. J. Okay, so Oscar Robertson and LeBron had a moment. That's what it was. Okay, and then that's President Obama sitting next to Oscar Robertson, and LeBron looking at the floor and not President Obama. Okay, All right. That's just what I was trying to understand. That thank y'all for helping me out. Thank y'all for helping me out. Thank y'all for helping me out. You know how you have a relative and they, they like they get involved in stuff and you be like, yeah, remember how you had those family members that were involved like in stuff like Amway, you know how they have that kind of stuff, and they come to you and they ask you to come to the meeting and you like, nah. I think LeBron's selling Amway. I think LeBron about to be treated like he's selling Amway. And if Amway's still a thing, I don't know. I'm just saying that's the best analogy I can come up with. A pyramid scheme. Somebody who trying to get people involved in the pyramid scheme and they ask you to come to the meeting and you like, look, cuz I appreciate you. I love you. Keep doing your thing, but that's not for me. That's the sentiment. That's the sentiment. That's the sentiment. All right. So yeah, Coach Prime said he wasn't getting undressed for nobody. It said, if not Dr. J, Charles Oakley. They said it's Oscar Robertson, but you were telling me about legends. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think we have clarified it, who it was. So yeah, they say it's not Dr. J. They said it's Oscar Robertson. And I don't know who that is. Amber laughing at Coach Prime because he was fully dressed on the massage table. Yeah. It said LeBron thinking about running for president. Yeah. Yeah, they must be testing the waters to see how much clout he have, and it's dwindling. I think LeBron right now, his press conference is making Kyrie Irving seem like the key right now. People feel like, oh no, Kyrie was the one. He the real one. That's facts. It say, hey, did y'all hear the cases moving forward? The NFL commissioner out as judge of case. Open arbitration. Yeah. It said, how are things today? How things are today may not be tomorrow. I swear, you a prophet. I mean, here's the thing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was listening to somebody say something today, and I said, that's exactly what I said about the NFL. In fact, that's actually what I typed. I said the same thing about the NFL. I thought they were like, what the hell? It's true. They were talking. It was Don Lemon. Don Lemon was talking about how the people in the E-file situation and all those people in administration are making moves. Like one, they'll never pass. Like they'll never die. That's one. That two, the way things are, that they have set it up, is going to always be that way. I said that. But I was talking about, and that's when I said the same thing about the NFL, that they think the way things are today, they're going to always be that way. And what's my motto? The way things are today, they may not be tomorrow. That's my motto, right? And the Brian Flores case, we talked about that. They never thought that they would move forward in court. They thought they would restrict him, collude against him, and keep him internally in their arbitration process. But the judge ruled they don't have an arbitration process. So that's why he was able to move forward in court. That's one, right? This thing with Shador, right? They want to get the manicure, right? And this is what I mean by there's already been one hiccup. He was supposed to come out in 2026, and now he's not coming to 2027. Now you got Peyton Manning, who's in the inner circle of the owner, and they done put all their eggs in his basket, and he in the Epstein files, and the NFL won't talk about it, but they threw Jay-Z under the bus. You see? And Jay-Z showed up with his daughters like, I ain't worried. Okay. But you can't continue doing business with these people. You gotta move. It's like you've been warned. You gotta move on. You can't continue to make money with these people. That's the problem. You can't continue to associate with these people. And everybody's not willing to let their gravy train go. But Jay-Z got to move on. I just called out Jay-Z right before it happened. What did I say? He going to have to switch it up. Did I not say that? And then these files came out a week later. The way things are today, they may not be tomorrow. And making decisions like the pendulum not going to ever swing in the opposite direction is arrogant. And arrogance goes before the fall. And instead of talking about the e-files and holding people accountable, they trying to surveil the people in Congress who was wanting consequences. And now they coming after all the black billionaires. Yeah. Let's talk about Michael Jordan. In the video, y'all all saw it. I saw it. At first, people didn't know if it was real or not. That was number one. Is it AI? Is it real? Is it not? How many minutes I got left? 8. So we got to wrap this up. We might need to talk about Michael Jordan tonight. Y'all let me know how you feel. Then people said it was real, but it wasn't what you thought it was. It looks like he was touching on the kid, the back. It was something in his shirt. Now, I saw him holding one of the kids. It looked like he close to the family and he, but here's the thing. It don't matter if we misunderstood it. It don't matter. Now, if it's what you thought it was, then you need to investigate. But you need to also understand something. It's 3.5 million documents with over 100 people listed, and people don't want to talk about them, but you want to throw Jay-Z under the bus. You want to talk about Michael Jordan, you don't even know what you're really looking at. Then you want to talk about Rihanna and her baby weight. Then you got LeBron out here puppeteering and tap dancing. Do you see the pattern? Then you put Oprah in all the pictures, and you got Clarence Thomas in all the pictures. Okay, oh, just like the NBA scandal, it was all black people. It's the same thing. And I said it then. How in the hell does the NBA have a scandal and the NFL don't? The NFL has hashtag NFL scandals, and here we are. But they don't want to talk about it. And to not talk about it, they threw Jay-Z under the bus. They offered up Jay-Z, which is why he should have not been at the Super Bowl with his daughter. So as if to say, I ain't going nowhere. No, that's precisely what you need to do. But see, they're all doing business together. Or they being puppeteered. Or they're tone deaf. Or they willfully ignorant. Or I'm not messing up my bag. But they coming for our billionaires, just like they came for black people in the NBA scandal. It's the same thing. And in the NBA scandal, before it happened, we saw some black people roped up and we didn't even know what the hell was going on. That's where we are right now. We're going to see some of our people roped up and we don't even know what the hell is going on. Because what the media has shown you is they have the ability to focus on what the hell it is they want to focus on and smother what the hell they don't. So we, on the outside, looking at the media and looking at our faves and the black billionaires, we got to take a step back. We got to take a step back. And remember, we like them because they have gifts and talents. We support them because we want all black people to win. However, we will not be swayed because they have been puppeteered to go along with what's wrong. Because we like the way they play basketball or the way they rap or the way they sing. We're going to take a step back. That's what we got to do. So, and yes, it's not Dr. J. It's Oscar Robertson. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. But yes, he's the other legend I was thinking of. Absolutely. It says sitting next to Obama, but that was Oscar Robertson. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It said in the picture. Yes, I got it. It said the pictures of Snow at the Harlem Globetrotter. Yeah, he was actually cute. Snow, did you see a little shirt? Snow has swag and he has celebrity. He is a Sanders. He's not two yet. So we'll probably do the off season tonight. Probably catch up on our faves. We haven't done an off season in a minute. Probably since I was on vacation. I don't think we did one. So we'll do that tonight. I'll be back at 10:35 tonight, but we had to get the business out the way first. So we understand what the hell is going on. So the huddle is getting ready to conclude. Hey, 420, thank you. Thank you. Sis, your custom jersey looks nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's not custom. I bought it from what's the name of the store? It's a store that Akira. Yeah, I was in there. I was like, I gotta get these, but I didn't make it. I wish I did. But thank you. I appreciate it. No, it's not Charles Oakley. They said it's Oscar Robertson. Deion said he only got a facial. Okay, so that clarifies what happened. So I asked the question, since Coach Prime did not want to take out this role for a massage, and we know that there are levels to this, but you got to be comfortable. And I myself was not comfortable with those at one point, but I did get comfortable, but I did not. I'm like, Coach Prime, I'm not doing all that. So they're saying he got a facial. I can see that. I can see that. And Karrueche always rubbing on his beard. That's cute. I think that's cute. So I love their relationship. I love how they're comfortable, both being, public. They were talking about how what their plans were for, and he got her media trained too. I just want y'all to know. They were talking about their plans for Valentine's Day. And he said it. I didn't know he was talking to her at first. I had to figure it out myself. He said, you don't have to reveal all the plans, and then she told them what it was that they were working on. So she, what they were planning for Valentine's Day. They went to this jazz thing and stuff like that. So I have to go watch it. I haven't seen it since Valentine's Day. But that means that we're going to do the off season tonight. We got to catch up with some of our faves after this past weekend and see what's going on. Somebody asked me, did I hear Ruttenberg from the Atlanta Falcons is the Browns' new DC? Does he have any ties to that phone call to Shador? That was the New York Giants. And probably not. Probably not. I mean, they all knew about it because remember, everybody, the NFL sent out Shador saying his phone number to 2,000 people that work there. There's only 6,000 people that work for the NFL globally. So we talking about 2,000 for the teams themselves, 300 players. So I think everybody got it. So somebody, I would imagine somebody tipped off Coach Prime. I would imagine. And remember, he said, let me go.
This man take your shoes off.
Vacation ahead of the bull jump. So I happen to think that of the 2,000 people that got the email from the NFL, some of them opened it, and I'm hoping I'm right about this, that one of them or two of them sent Coach Prime a heads up, hey, something's going on. And that something was the bull junk. So while they were going through the draft, they kind of already had a bit of an inkling that something was going down. And I think it has something to do with the email. So yeah, that's what I think. So wrong letter, not J, the big O. Yes, y'all, we got it. It's Oscar Robertson. We got it. I just wanted to know, was LeBron holding Obama's hand? That's what I wanted to know. I couldn't tell when I was looking at it earlier, but I figured if y'all show it to y'all let's tell me if that's who it was. So Oscar Robertson. But I don't know. I don't know if he was holding Obama's hand. I couldn't tell. I don't know. But I know he wasn't looking at that direction. He kind of looked down a little bit. So I don't know. It said I watched Big O and Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Maybe that's who I thought it was. Yeah, that might have been who I thought it was too. Played together in Milwaukee when I was growing up. Okay, Jimi Hendrix. Nice handle. It said the kid had Jordan on the back of his shirt, and Mike pointed it out. He was amazed that the kid had him on the back of his T-shirt. Yet these folks, I understand this, and this is what people need to understand. Let me explain something. I just laid the pattern out for you. I just named everybody that's a Black billionaire whose names you're hearing. The lesson should be that there are 9 NFL team owners plus Peyton Manning, Casey Wasserman, and I think Geno Smith in the E-Files. But the NFL chose to unfollow Jay-Z. That right there, coupled with the NBA scandal, where you only heard about Black people. And shout out to Chauncey Billups. It's the same thing. Where there's anybody Black with power and influence right now, whether it was the NBA scandal or the E-Files and the NFL or the sports world, they're going to take the opportunity to make them the topic of conversation and not the E-Files. But just like the Super Bowl came and went, and they used to do on the Pro Bowl to deflect, the Super Bowl to deflect, we still got back to the topic. Just like Michael Jordan still going to get back to the topic. But we have to be to understand the game that is being played. Deflect, deny, deflect. Use them. Them is Jay-Z. Them is Chauncey Billups. Them is the NBA scandal only talking about black people. Them is the NFL only on following Jay-Z. Let's be smarter than that. Understand Michael Jordan just took down NASCAR. Understand that. Man walked in the court with 100 lawyers and they decided to settle. So in his mind, he had the audacity in their mind. Let's be smarter than that and realize that everything that's being presented to you, you have to challenge and you have to question. You have to think critically. That's why they want you to keep scrolling so you don't have no critical thinking skills. Understand this. There are over 100 people in Epstein files. And y'all know who in there 1 million times. How many times you see them with a kid? Touch a kid. All right then. That ain't how pedophiles work. That's not how they work it out. All them people in them files that they don't want to talk about, you ain't never seen not now one of them do none of the shit they said or even remotely close to it, but there's mountains of evidence because there's a pattern of behavior. Show me the pattern of behavior with Michael Jordan. And then don't be so easily fooled. And he won the race. Yes, he said he felt like he won another championship. So now they're saying he got 7 rings. So slow down. Slow down. Think critically. It's on. And I told y'all, what did I say? It's going to be different from here on out. There's no going back. And as we get closer to the midterms, it's going to get crazy. And they're going to be trying to use all the black people to set the record straight, to set them straight. I said it. They tried to use Shador to say that Kevin Stefanski did not indeed sabotage him. We talked about that. And I said, here we go. Now they're trying to use LeBron. But see, the difference is, I don't know what's going on with LeBron. But I know now I can go back and go, okay, I see. Because when you see the same thing happening over and over and over, it's a pattern. The NBA scandal did the same thing the NFL did with Jay-Z. Jay-Z going to have to figure out, he going to have to move around. And I know he got a contract with him. We got to figure something out. Because when you keep working with these people, and they already throwing you under the bus, and they won't even throw their own people that look like them under the bus, that's a message for all black NFL players and employees, period. And black people, period. Not wanting to hold Stefanski accountable for abusing Shador, but wanting Shador to, I guess you could say, absolve Stefanski. It's the same thing. Wanting LeBron to absolve whatever he's speaking up about. So we're going to have to take a step back. And these people are not elite. It's not even, it's nonsensical to refer to them as elite. In fact, every time you do, you're saying they're up here. No, they're not. I think it was Josh Johnson that said, in our society, we have a tendency to equate wealth with intelligence. You don't even know how they got their money. Just because they're rich don't mean they're intelligent. So no, they're not elite. And I've said people, stop calling them people that. They're predators. When you call them predators, it brings it into focus, into view. When you call them elite, you're actually little bit by little bit absolving them as if to say they're too good for this. No, they just got money. And you don't even know how they got it. They're predators. And they will remain predators. And they're trying to get people to absolve them. So either they're using us to absolve them and or they're using us to shield them. But the point is, they're using us. That's what it is. All right. So if you're just not joining us, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back at 10:35 tonight. Tyreek Hill is a free agent. Let me know your thoughts. We can continue the conversation in the comments. Let me know how you feel about Tyreek Hill possibly joining and linking up with Shador Sanders. He's a free agent now. So they could give him a contract. He's not tied to his current contract. They don't have to do a trade. What do you think about just the thoughts of Shedeur Sanders with an elite wide receiver such as Tyreek Hill? All right, we'll continue the conversation tonight at 10:35. It's the off season. So we're going to be catching up with our faves off the field, off the court, off the track. See what they got going on. All right. Thank y'all for hanging out. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. If you're just not joining us, catch the replay, and I'll see y'all in the comments. Thank you for letting me know. That's Oscar Robinson, not Dr. J, not nobody else. Got it. I'll see y'all later. Have a good one, okay? Have a good one.